How's it going? Welcome to another live stream. Hope everyone is doing good. So, as the title goes, which we will talk about several times in this video or in this live stream as people start coming on in, some plans have changed for this week coming up for the Texas State Fair, rodeo, all of that stuff, the truck rodeo, all of that. So if you guys are new to the live stream, what is up? How's it going? Welcome on in. And yeah, how we do these live streams is basically whatever you guys want to talk about, throw it in the chat, throw it in the conversation, and then I take some time and talk to you all about it. Just getting everything ready, everything all set up. As you guys come on in, say what's up, say how's it going. And of course, if you guys would like to talk about anything, go ahead. Doesn't have to be Toyotas, doesn't have to be anything. Whatever you guys want to talk about, feel free to throw it into the comment section. So I'm just seeing if I'm able to pin this comment for you guys because sometimes people ask about discounts and everything. So I have tagged and pinned my link tree at the very top of the live stream for everyone. So what's up? Kind of a long intro. Hope everyone's doing good. Scott, how's it going, sir? Welcome on in. Life is going great. Life is going very good. Just got done walking the dogs, and we are waiting to see whatever this hurricane does. It is on the path to our area. We are a little bit outside the cone, but the cone keeps going like this. This particular house is outside of the cone, but our Airbnb that we have is actually inside of the cone. So we were supposed to be going to the Texas State Fair, driving to Dallas area tomorrow, going to the State Fair on Thursday, and then the truck rodeo on Friday to drive some other brands' vehicles and stuff. But that is not happening because of this hurricane coming now, and not anticipating anything bad in our area. But in the event that the power goes out where we live, we potentially need to check on flooding for some Airbnbs. We also have someone else checking into one of our units after the storm. So we just want to make sure that everything's good instead of just leaving the area and the storm just doing something crazy. So that is why I will not be going to the Texas stuff. Unfortunately, it sucks. I was really hoping to, but as of right now, I am still going to Overland Expo East. So I hope I get to see all you guys there. Ephraim says, best Toyota channel out there. Heck yeah, I appreciate that. A lot of other people making Toyota content too, man. So you got to enjoy it all if you want, man. Lots of good stuff out there. Danny Drives, how's it going? Joseph, what's up, man? Daryl up in here too. How are you today? I'm doing good. Hope you are doing good as well. Ray says, what's up? John also says, wasabi, how's it going, man? What is up? Roy says, love the new rig and Land Cruiser. It's coming a long ways. I actually really enjoy the way it looks. Definitely need to do some trimming up and everything, and maybe some different wheels in the future. I still do wish that I put some TRD Pro style wheels onto it, but that build, it will maybe come a different day. Toyota Jeff, what is up, guys? If you want more Toyota content, head on over to Toyota Jeff's channel. And if you guys want non-Toyota content, go over to his Auto Jeff channel. But with a big $5 donation, says we need to hang out soon, maybe next month. Love your 4Runner video. Would you rather buy a small Toyota Stout or a Land Cruiser FJ Mini? Very good question, Toyota Jeff. Again, guys, go over to Toyota Jeff's channel for some more Toyota content. But that's a very good question. I think that I would, man, probably the FJ Mini, just because I know I loved our RAV4 so much and the miles per gallon that it got. But still, at the same time, a mini truck would be pretty cool. As of right now in my garage, I don't need 3 trucks, but we are most likely getting rid of the Tacoma soon. So that would be cool to have a mini truck like the Stout if it ever came. But yeah, I will be seeing Toyota Jeff potentially next month at Overland Expo East. So if you guys are there at Overland Expo East, keep a lookout for Jeff and I. Come say what's up. Come talk about whatever it is on your guys' mind. But for everyone just joining in, I know if you guys were here last week, Jeff, thank you so much for the $5. I will get you dinner or something like that in Virginia. But for everyone joining in to the live stream, I will not be going to Texas tomorrow, unfortunately, for the state fair and also the truck rodeo like I had planned and told you guys last week because of the hurricane coming. So need to stay relatively close to our house to make sure that everything is okay, because we are in its path for the most part. So everything should be fine. With hurricanes, man, it sucks. It really does, but it's just nature, and stuff happens. And being in Florida, you expect it. But this storm is still gonna suck. But where it's kind of heading is a kind of dead area of Florida. Like, there's not that much population. So like, it's one of those crappy things. If it has to hit somewhere, it's kind of on the right path right now. It keeps coming towards more population where we're at, but it's still kind of heading, the eye of it at least. There's still, this storm is massive. It's literally the size of Florida, if not bigger, by the time it builds itself up. But at least that kind of armpit of Florida, as you go from the Panhandle down to the peninsula, what's called like the Florida armpit, there's not a whole lot there. So hopefully if people do have to evacuate, they get out of there in time for the main brunt of the storm. But still, this storm is going to be so widespread, which is why we are staying kind of relatively in our area to make sure that everything is okay. Shay, thank you so much for joining the live stream. I appreciate it. Glad you got to come. For everyone doing questions and whatnot too, keep in mind we do get a little bit behind. So if I don't see your question right away, I will definitely get to it as soon as I can, if possible. But if you do want to donate, like Toyota Jeff did, to shoot right up to the top, you guys totally can. And I truly, truly appreciate it. Bill Built said, so what's up with no bump stops on the new Tacomas in the front? So it does not have physical bump stops, but they do have it integrated into the suspension, which is nothing new. It is new for Toyota products, but it's nothing new really in the industry. So, I mean, I have beat the crap out of Toyota TRD Pros out during their driving stuff. I've beaten the crap out of mine. It was fine. So I'm not sure, honestly, how many failures have happened for this bump stop issue shooting through the top. But it does sound like there was some part errors, maybe some thinner material that was used rather than the robust stuff that Toyota wanted. Because everything that I know about these trucks and the way that they test them out, like Toyota has some pretty intense off-road courses in Arizona. They have very good off-road courses in Japan where they really beat the absolute crap out of these vehicles. So to see posts where someone says they went over a speed bump and the shock shot through the top, that doesn't sound right. So not saying that they're wrong, it's just now the manufacturing of mass production, it kind of makes me scratch my head a little bit as to where something may have been missed. Josh says, and I know that I am going down into this where I shouldn't be, but this wouldn't make sense 5 minutes from now. I vote move back to Arizona. Arizona is the state where pretty much no natural disasters really happen, right? You get maybe monsoons during monsoon season and stuff from the hurricanes coming from the Pacific, and we got like the sandstorms, but really there's nothing that happens in Arizona. Fire? What fire? There's nothing to really catch on fire sometimes, unless, you know, it's more northern Arizona. But Phoenix area, there's nothing. That's probably why my insurance for our house there is like so freaking cheap, because there's nothing that really happens. Bill Built says that we are in Port St. Lucie if you guys need a place and if you lose power. I truly appreciate it. I truly, truly appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it would be smart, right, to just head to Texas and just avoid the storm, which is probably what we would have done anyways if it was like really in our path. But we just really want to kind of stay relatively close to the area. We're not evacuating, I don't think, unless it really just pushes way west overnight or something. But we need to make sure that some fridge, because we have like half a cow in that fridge, so that's a lot of meat to lose, thousands of dollars worth of meat. And then again, we have to check on stuff too, because we have a business to run, so make sure that all the properties are okay. So it sucks. It really sucks, because I am missing out on Texas. What the heck? I already answered that one. Oh, wait. What the heck is going on with Tacomas and Tundras? They are becoming a piece of crap. Tundra, yes. Tundra, I have no excuses for Tundra. I have given Toyota their time to fix the Tundra, and yeah, there's still issues with them, it seems like, even 3-4 years into the build. Tacomas, I don't think that they're pieces of crap. That's the internet honestly taking the Tacoma for what it is, and it's not me defending it. There are some alignment issues on body panels and stuff, but guess what? The 3rd gen is the exact same for certain things. Tons of plastic in the last generation truck too. And the transmission issues is really the only powertrain thing that has gone down on the Tacoma, and they already issued a TSB and a fix for it and have fixed the production of it since. So really, I don't know. I feel like the Tacoma is on a way stronger start than the Tundra is this time, for the first year of the Tundra when it was released versus the first year of the Tacoma, honestly, when it was released. Sean over on Facebook says, good evening, John. A random question. Do you know, is the Tundra AC, is it a hit or miss? My father-in-law's capstone is very cold and mine is kind of good, but nothing like his. Tundra's AC is one of the biggest complaints on that truck, especially during summertime. Some people say that you can adjust it a little bit to, kind of hack it to make it good. Honestly, in my opinion, non-hybrids, the ones that I've had from Toyota, have been kind of worse than, or non-hybrids have been better than hybrids from what I've experienced. So I don't know. Maybe because hybrids have that little button to press to where the air doesn't go in the back, it can only be in the front. Maybe that's why his is a little bit better than yours. I have no idea. It's just crazy with that truck. So because my Tacoma, the air conditioning in that is so cold. Same with the Land Cruiser too. It's so cold. I have no idea why the Tundra is kind of not the coldest. It's the same too with the GX, weirdly. So I'm not sure if it's the air conditioner motor or whatever drives it off of the 3.4 turbo V6, but even like the GX, it took a while to really get cold as compared to our Land Cruiser. Thank you, Scott. Hope it really does miss us too. I don't know. Like I said, where it's going right now, fortunately, it's one of the lesser populated areas of Florida. It still sucks, but at least, hopefully minimal damage. We will see. There's going to be a lot of flooding, though. A lot of flooding. Hey, John, dope 4Runner and Tundra, dope colors. Love the Voodoo Blue and the Cav Blue. For everyone joining in, too, we're now up to 80 people. Appreciate you all. Drop whatever comments you guys have down below. I will get to them as soon as possible. We are not going to Texas anymore because of this storm. We will be staying in Florida to check on things, which means I get to install some more mods after this storm passes, which is awesome. Ephraim says, do you happen to know of any install videos for a 32-gallon fuel tank on the Tundra? Mine is a 23. I actually haven't. You could potentially look at Long Range America. They may have something for the new Tundra. Or I don't even know if the underneath is the same and if it's just lacking in a certain spot. But you may be able to just get a tank from a truck that's at a salvage yard or something and just throw it up. I don't think that there's really any modifications that need to be done, but I may be wrong. Carlos says, hey, John, how are you? I work in a dealership in Chicago. I have my own Land Cruiser, and the other day the screen shut off and was all black, restarted like when you turn the car off, and it's happening in a couple Land Cruisers. Yeah, so for some reason with like the new Toyota infotainment, it happened like 1 or 2 times on my Tundra. Nothing really noteworthy because it kind of just like froze and shut off, and then it just restarted itself. So that is unfortunately a thing with newer technology. So they may have a firmware over the air update that will hopefully fix that, or a hardware issue if they need to fix it. Knock on wood, my Land Cruiser has not done that, so it may just be a little glitch in the system for those. But I hope yours either fixes itself or you're able to fix it at the dealership. Joseph says, what are your plans for Overland Expo East? Hanging out with your vendors yourself or just vlog? Kind of a combination of everything. So I will be showcasing some Toyotas are there that are there. I will be looking at other brands' vehicles that are there, kind of looking at some new stuff within the industry, which would be pretty cool for the overland scene because it is camping season as the weather starts to cool off, which is really nice. And just kind of a vlog of maybe my favorite vehicles there, looking at some new Tacomas and stuff that are there, maybe some Land Cruiser builds. It would be pretty cool. And again, Toyota Jeff will be there filming some Lexus and Toyota stuff. Come see John and me. Heck yeah, come see Jeff and us, man. It would be really, really cool. Shay says, wait, why are you getting rid of the Tacoma? So the reason I want to get rid of the Tacoma is I've had it for about 6 to 7 months, and I just feel like it's kind of a Frankenstein of a build. It's not really a Frankenstein of a build, but it was a build where it got built up pretty fast. And I would rather get another Tacoma eventually and just have a clean slate and just enjoy it kind of in its stock form and build it slowly. And plus, I would like to do a giveaway on the channel with the Tacoma. I kind of hinted at it in the video where I talked about how much money I made on YouTube, and a lot of people were interested in a giveaway. I just need to call the right companies to make sure that we do the giveaway model legally and correct. And I want to make sure, one, that I am able to pay off the Tacoma through that giveaway. I'm able to make money on the giveaway as well. I'm able to get some super rad products for you guys too. And also we're able to donate to charity. So I would like to donate to charity with the giveaway. At least $5,000 to $10,000 I think would be really cool to give to like a Florida Veterans Foundation or something like that. So it'll be a very good giveaway, not just for profit. Everything will literally be laid out for you guys, right? Everything will be laid out, and it won't be kind of, you know, one of those shady giveaways is like, oh, what's really happening? It'll all be laid out, and I hope people see that and appreciate that, and we get the Tacoma into someone's hands for $100, and they get, you know, a $50,000 truck. I think that would be really, really cool. Sean says, evening, John. Random question. My father-in-law's... Oh, I already answered that. Yep. But in case you weren't here, Sean, the Tundra's AC is hit or miss. I just don't know why. It's just so frustrating sometimes. Jono says, hey, John, not related to Toyota content, which is totally fine if you guys are new to these live streams. You can ask whatever questions you want, and I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. He says, would you ever move back to California? Also, any ideas on when the new 4Runner is getting the press release drive? It should be around January, February timeframe for the 4Runner press drive, and I don't think that I would ever permanently move back to California. I love the state. You have so much there. It's one of the best states in our country for anything, for everything, for food, for geographical stuff. But politically, it is just so far down the drain, and it sucks, right? Because it's like I'm giving up on that and not being someone to help kind of change that. But it's just way too expensive for what it is. I would honestly rather be one state over in Arizona. It's warmer too in Arizona, which I do like, and it's beautiful in Arizona, and have Florida also as a home or resident still. So California, love it every time I go back, but I can't deal with how expensive it is, how crappy the roads are, how the government doesn't really care about its, the main parts of the government doesn't really care about the actual people that live there. There's just a lot of stuff with California that really does need to change. It's absolutely beautiful state. Grew up there, lived there for 20 years of my life in San Diego County. It's the best state for just everything. You have everything there, right? It's amazing, but man, it's just so frustrating how such a beautiful state just turned so bad because people were just enjoying it, right? People were enjoying the state, enjoying their lives, you know, carefree, whatever, working hard, going surfing, doing all this stuff, eating good food, and like in the background, the state was just secretly, I feel, just like purposely destroying itself, right? People aren't paying attention, let's vote on this. People aren't paying attention, let's vote on that. Like, man, people just, and then everyone got sick of it. A lot of good people left. So it's like, is there even enough good people there still to fight, you know, for some things? I don't know. But California is great. I just would be one state over, most likely in Arizona. Thoughts on the Rigged Swing Out? Thinking of getting one for my e-bikes on the 4Runner. Rigged is a great brand. They're really awesome, really good sturdy stuff, well thought out. I liked rigged a lot, honestly. Have a 21 Tacoma TRD Pro, pretty much stock. Any must-haves you'd recommend? I always recommend some window tint. I recommend a little center console organizer. You could pick one up on Amazon for like 20 bucks. A throttle enhancer if you want for the truck, just to make it just a tad bit more peppy. And I personally haven't done it, but some people say that the OTT, the Overland Tailor Tune, retune for the transmission and all that stuff on the truck just makes it absolutely awesome. I never did that with my two third-gen Tacomas that I had, but a lot of people say that it is just such a great driving vehicle after all of that. KTM says, can you tell the differences with the Tacoma having rear disc brakes versus prior gens? I actually can. The braking system just feels a bit more smooth. It feels like it will handle more if I really put the brake down. The third gen Tundra or Tacoma, when you put your foot on the brake, it really felt like the fronts grabbed a lot and that the back was just kind of there, I guess. But yeah, it does feel really good to have 4 disc brakes finally. Baron says, hey John, what is a ground clearance now on the Land Cruiser? Also, why the difference between why the difference between the, bro, y'all need a proofread. So the actual ground clearance, I'm not exactly sure, Baron, but we did go up in the front about 2 to 2.5 inches with just the lift itself. And then the tires went up another 2 inches. So we may be close to 4 inches in the front over stock. I really wish I measured that out for you guys, but I didn't because I'm a horrible YouTuber. But I would say we're lifted up probably close to 4 inches with the tires in conjunction with the Westcott lift kit. Michael says, hey John, do you think that the rear differential lock has been beneficial for you in your use, or do you usually just get by with A-Track? Honestly, just get by with the A-Track. When I was in Moab, Utah, I never used the rear locker. I did, I think, on one obstacle. It may not have been needed, but I just did it just to do it, really. So Toyota's A-Track system, it's very, very good for off-road. And maybe that's the reason, too, why they didn't think that they needed a front locker, really, in their trucks. I don't know. But yeah, it's been really good so far, especially their new generation of it. And then if you use the crawl control and stuff, it's so quiet in these new vehicles. It's not like cluck, cluck, clunk, cluck, cluck, clunk, nothing like that. So it's pretty good in those. For everyone joining in, we're almost at 100 people. If you could leave a like on this live stream. I also pinned my link tree up to the top of the chat for you guys if you guys are interested in any discounts. And two, if you were here in last week's live stream, I am not going to Texas tomorrow, unfortunately, for the state fair or that truck rodeo because of this hurricane coming our way. Have to stay kind of relatively close to assess potential damage afterwards. Arham says, I was talking with a salesman at my local Toyota dealership the other day, and it seems like in Canada, the hardest Toyotas to get are Sequoias and Siennas. Those are the hardest to get here too in America. The Sienna especially, for some reason, I don't know if Toyota's just inflating that one or what, but they are so hard to get. Joe says, off topic, have you heard of the Florida housing market correcting? Tons of markets are correcting across the United States. Florida is one of them that is heavily correcting. A couple of Florida cities, ours isn't here, but a couple of the Florida cities, especially in Tampa, which is nice for us because we're planning on moving there, are seeing the most housing correction out of the whole state. So there were some houses that we were looking at there. They started at like $650. One of them that I've had my eye on for about a couple months, I would say it's been on market maybe 70 days now, 80 days. It's now down to $590, which is pretty cool, right? So it's had like a $60,000 drop in the asking price, and I'm sure it will just continue to go down and down. So it sucks, right? But everywhere is correcting. So, I mean, I would personally really start to consider buying now if you're looking in Florida, even though interest rates are high, because if interest rates do go down, prices will go up. So I would try to land the deals even with a high interest rate, and then you can always refinance and stuff. So that will be our plan most likely, and hopefully we're able to do that sooner rather than later. Hey John, Daniel says, I hope you're doing well. Stay safe with the storm. We plan on it, man. We plan on it. We are still kind of outside the storm, and you guys are all asking about this. We're still kind of outside the cone for this house that we live in, but our Airbnb that we have in Panama City Beach, that is within the cone. And then our other property that we have someone checking in on Friday, I think my wife said, like right after the storm. So we're going to have to go and assess potential damage to make sure everything's good. So the way hurricanes move, they kind of go counterclockwise like this. So if you're on the east end of the if you're on the west end of the storm as it's going like this, you're typically a lot better than people impacted on the east side of the storm, because that storm is picking everything up. The winds are circulating this way. You have more chances for tornadoes, more chances of rain, all of that stuff on that end of the storm. And of course, at the eye of the storm, as it freaking makes its way onto land, that is of course just horrible, because you're catching the brunt of absolutely everything. So as of right now, we're all right. Yeah, this garage door is definitely a thicker garage door. I actually lose when the garage door opens. That's why in some videos with the Land Cruiser, as the hatch has opened in those videos and it seems short and I push it up, it's because those braces on that garage door are probably 6-7 inches or so. So I lose 6-7 inches of height on my garage door because that one is like a hurricane rated door, which is pretty rad. I wish it was insulated too, since it's that thick anyways. BD says, test drove a Rivian R1S dual motor and it was freaking awesome, but the lack of physical buttons was a deal breaker along with the cost. I was kind of shocked at how much it made me appreciate my 23 4Runner. Yeah, so I drove a Rivian R1T a couple years ago at the Overland Expo, and it was rad. It was so cool, so fast. Oh my gosh. But yeah, it's just a screen, right? I enjoyed the interior size of it. That was pretty nice because the R1T is kind of like a first-gen Tundra in a way. It's like the same kind of size as the Tacoma, but it has way more space on the inside. It's a pretty nice vehicle. But yeah, they are pricey, and the government right now, it's not really doing that many incentives, which a brand new price of a Rivian is still kind of high. But the EV market has definitely fallen quite a bit. Lee Jones says, are portals worth it on a 21 Tacoma TRD Pro? Any experience? I don't have any experience yet with them, but everyone that has gotten them, they say that their truck is a little bit peppier than stock just because of the gear reduction that it reduces it down to, which is pretty cool. I know that maintenance is a big thing for portals, but a lot of people that have been able to purchase them really do enjoy them. Which is very cool. I hope to have some experience soon with a portal system on a 4th gen Tacoma. Yeah, Louisiana, y'all always get hit with a good amount of storms, and you guys being like below sea level at some areas in that state is just so bad. Any information yet on the Mini FJ? No, unfortunately not. I would love to see it. Rumors have it that it's coming, right? But I personally do not have any information yet on the Mini FJ. As soon as I do, I will do it for you guys. I know that there are content creators that are speculating and stuff of it, which is awesome, and I do watch their videos. Last I heard, and I may be wrong, is it's just overseas. It's not really in the United States, but it hopefully may come to the United States if we show enough hype for it. I don't know. Toyota seems to have their plans for the States pretty far out, so I don't know. I really hope to see the Stout and a Mini style FJ Cruiser. And even if it's not a Mini and if it's more of like a modern 70 series, I would rather have that, honestly, than a Mini FJ. Because like to me, this Land Cruiser is already kind of like a Mini Land Cruiser, right? Because it's a Prado. To have just a smaller version of that, yeah, that's cool. Another option. But like, I don't know. I would rather either have like a super bare bones 70 series style or bring the 300 series here or something. For everyone joining in, appreciate you guys. You could throw whatever questions you want into the comments. We got Ryan up in here. Everyone say thank you, Ryan, for making the Land Cruiser look awesome. and I cooked my fender or my mud flap, Ryan, and I absolutely hate it. It was worse after the alignment, which they told me, because we moved some stuff around, got it properly aligned, and I absolutely almost ripped the frickin' fender off. Or I keep saying fender, the mud flap. Not So Good says, hey John, did you ever resolve the squealing brake issue on your Land Cruiser? A lot of us seem to have this. Always great content. I have not yet, but the Land Cruiser will be going into the dealership for its 5K service probably in a month or so. So I will have them address that. The wind noise issue for the windshield, and it has developed a rattling issue too, where the seatbelt comes, like where it's on the B pillar, and you grab the seatbelt and you put it on. There's like something rattling inside there as well, which I will inform all you guys about. And that started before the lift kit and also the bigger tires. So again, first model year issues, right? And hopefully they fix all these things for everyone, and the Land Cruiser's super solid. But this is why I like to buy these vehicles. Yeah, it's an expense, and again, I do all this stuff for fun. Money's a byproduct of it, so that's nice. But before you spend $70,000 on a Land Cruiser, and if it has a horrible front windshield noise, right? If they're not seated properly, if you have a rattling noise right here in your ear while you're freaking driving, and as you're backing up your $70,000 Land Cruiser out of your garage in a pretty nice neighborhood, I would say, and it squeals and your neighbor's like, what the heck is that piece of crap? That sucks. So that is nice for me to experience, unfortunately, these issues, but hey, it makes content for you guys. And those who are experiencing or want to get firsthand, information on these Land Cruisers, then you guys are able to get that. So Ryan says, it wasn't me this time messing up the Land Cruiser. And then my wife says that she's allowed to blame Jeff Westcott for all of it. But it's all good. Yeah, and Ryan noticed it too. Yeah, so no, the Land Cruiser will be fine. I just need to remove the mud flaps, pin up a little bit of the fender liner, and everything will be fine. It'll all be totally okay on the Land Cruiser, I promise. And worst case scenario, we'll just put different wheels on it. The tires should be fine. I think the wheels just have a little bit too much of an offset on it. Would you ever do a Magnuson Supercharger on your 4Runner? I think that is the end goal of this 4Runner. Eventually, I do want to get the 4Runner paint corrected, get all the swirls and stuff out of it, get a good, nice ceramic coat on the 4Runner as well. And a Magnuson Supercharger would be cool. I don't know if it's going to have as much of a significant impact on the driving characteristics as it does the Tundra, because I know the Tundra you get way more horsepower and torque versus this. So I really, before I sink the money on that, I know the Tundra is going to be rowdy, and that would be great. But before I do that on the 4Runner, I would really like to drive someone's that has it. Preferably a mall crawler version of a 4Runner versus someone that had to put a supercharger on because they have 1,000 to 2,000 pounds of constant payload in their 4Runner, completely overweight, and then they throw a supercharger on it and it feels slower than mine. So I would love to drive a stock, pretty much 4Runner with the supercharger. Elder says, hey John, have you heard of any new information about the upcoming Toyota pickup? So no new upcoming information on the Toyota Stout, if it is going to be called that, or also the mini Land Cruiser. So I really do think, though, that we will probably get a Stout, something of it, whatever they call it, maybe based on the Prius or the Corolla, hopefully next year with all the rumors and stuff, right? But there's no new information about it at all. Man, this is a little bit of a long one. Nilson says, me and the family got a Platinum Tundra and we're loving all of the space. The gas is not that bad at all. I think that the Tundras are very nice in the long run, but can be very useful. This trim so far has been great. Thank you for your channel and all the helpful information on it. The price is a little bit high, but the pro is that it is great for our family. So that is awesome, Nilson. Hope you guys are enjoying it. To me, the Platinum is the best grade to get to. It looks so good, and hopefully you got a good deal on it as well with all the Tundra discounts that they're doing right now. They're doing some pretty good discounts, and also auto rates have come down. So I am curious to see if that kind of helps spark some Toyota Tacoma sales and also Tundra. I do get that chirp noise, Oliver, on my Tacoma, and I think it's just because of the AC as well being on in my truck all the time here in Florida. So yeah, it does like the grr. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's done it pretty much since I bought it, and it has almost 12,000 miles on it now. John says, hey John, if you had to choose between the GX 550 Premium Plus and the Luxury Plus, why? It has to have a third row, so no overtrail. There may be an overtrail next year with a third row, just because if people want it and Toyota listens, they may just do a third row in the overtrail. There's no reason not to, aside from just payload standards, right? Like, they know that people are going to load it up with gear, so they don't want to put a heavier third row seat with all the electronics in it to hopefully allow you to have more of a payload. But not everyone off-roads the vehicle like that, so with all the gear and stuff in it. But of those two, I think a Premium Plus may be probably better. The Luxury is nice, but I don't know. I personally don't need all those features. The only reason I would get an Overtrail Plus is if it's at a really good price, right? Compared to, and if it's used or something like that, I would probably consider getting a Plus version of the GX. But I mean, yeah, I would probably still do a Premium Plus over the Luxury Plus, because I think that's still a difference of like 10 grand or something. Brian says, just picked up a loaded 24 Tundra Limited 4-wheel drive last week. Love it so far, and already started some of the mods. Came from a Titan. That's good to hear, because some people really do love the Titan compared to the new Tundra, which is really rad. So for everyone joining in, we are about 9 minutes behind in the messages and stuff, so don't worry about it. If you throw a comment down in the comment section, I will get to it. I also have a pinned comment there for my link tree for discounts and everything too for you guys. And if you want to leave a like on the live stream, I appreciate it. Greetings from Ecuador, 4Runner enthusiast. Love to hear that the Toyota culture is down there too, man. Thank you so much for watching. That is awesome. RM says the issue of people complaining that the Tacoma is being made in Mexico and not in America makes no sense to me, because the build quality seems the same. The plastics seem the same too. Any thoughts? I think that the Tacoma's built better than the Tundra. Honestly, the Tundra to me is still having some like major QC issues. Yeah, the Tacoma's having some QC issues as well. It's a first-year vehicle. They're working out all the bugs and everything with it. But dude, Mexicans are hard workers, man. I mean, that for people to say that, that's kind of messed up, because they're a very hard-working individuals, a very hard working country too, especially compared to some lazy Americans, right? So I mean, that's just fact. And the Tacoma being made in Mexico, like, I don't understand why that's a thing for people saying, because like that's nothing new. It has been made in Mexico for like the whole third generation. Yes, there were some trucks made in America, but if you compared a Mexican-built Tacoma and one made in the USA, you couldn't really tell that big of a difference, right? Maybe there's better plants down in Mexico than the other ones. Maybe Baja's better than the one I believe in Guadalajara, which is where mine was made. So I mean, yeah, I don't know. But the Tacoma being made in Mexico is literally nothing new. It's literally nothing new. So people just need to stop saying that, because the truck to me is built better than the Tundra. The materials seem a little bit better than the Tundra's plastic and stuff, and even the seats seem a little bit thicker. And yeah, I would prefer my Tacoma over a new Tundra, honestly, which is why I still have a Tacoma in my driveway and why I don't have a third-gen Tundra in my driveway. There were other reasons too, right? But if I was in the market right now personally and I had experienced both and stuff, while it is nice to have a full-size truck, it is very nice to have a full-size truck. If it came down to what I needed as a daily truck, either Tacoma or Tundra, and I didn't need a full size for constant towing and more stuff in the bed, even though the Tacoma's payload numbers are pretty good, I would honestly probably pick a Tacoma over a Tundra. Again, full size trucks are very, very nice to have, But still, to me, the Tacoma's it's a better truck right now. And I hope Toyota proves me wrong with the refresh. I hope that refresh is just so good when it comes out for the Tundra. I really have high hope with Sheldon fronting that. So I hope they're still doing changes to it and that it's going to be really good. David says, was the wind noise on the Tundra ever fixed to your satisfaction? So going back to the Tundra, it was not. It got worse. So we had some rattle issues with the Tundra. They changed out the seals. The rattle issues went away. The wind noise was super bad. Had them change out the seals again. The wind noise went away on the driver's side. It wasn't as bad. Then the window rattles came back on the passenger side. I was about to sell the Tundra anyways, and I was so fed up with it that was like one of the last straws. And I was just like, I'm done with this. I was already thinking about selling it. Already wanted to sell the Tundra to get some money in my pocket, clear up some debt to income, which didn't really work that well. Still saving like $200 a month with that second gen out there. But you guys like the second gen content, which I need to do more of soon. And yeah, to me it was a good decision, and especially with the values depreciating. Lucho says, I dig how all your rides are Smurf colors. Fun fact, when I started my YouTube channel and also my Instagram, it was blue TRD John, and then I just changed it to TRD John, which the TRD is an acronym for Toyota Review Dude, because I started reviewing Toyotas and products and all that stuff to put onto your Toyotas. So it was blue TRD John, which is now funny because 3 of the 4 vehicles are blue, and then when we get rid of the Tacoma, they'll all be blue, which is kind of crazy. 2025 Tacoma release, not sure. Hopefully we will get some information soon on that. I can text my Toyota contact to see when we will get embargo information actually on that. That would be pretty nice. Shag says, if you could only have one of your vehicles, which one would you choose? The 4Runner right there. If I could only choose one, which would be hard because I do like having a truck. But if I only had to choose one to keep and just get rid of the others, it would be the 4Runner all day. One, paid off, wouldn't have a car payment anymore, which would save me a couple $1,000s a month, which would be rad. And the 4Runner is just solid. I have no issues with that truck at all. It's freaking great, except for a battery drain. The battery does drain. And it is a garage princess, and we take the dogs out for stuff. So I should have it on a trickle charger because it does not start enough. I do need to put some new fresh gas in it too. Cripple Creek, what up, Chris? How's it going? Says, good evening. Another Tuesday, another Costco run, but I'm here. Heck yeah, man. Hope you got some good stuff at some Costco and got some good samples too. David says, 20 degrees or 0 degree rock sliders. I'm a big fan of 0 degree. Even though this 4Runner has 20 degree on it, I'm a big fan of 0. They still hold up your vehicle well if you're going to smash it on something. And it acts as a step, which is, it's a win-win for me. F. Seb says, and I see that Ryan also already replied back to you, but he says, is SEMA worth it for the normal consumer or fan of vehicles, or is it more of an industry event? Ryan says SEMA is definitely worth it if you can get a chance to go. It does focus on the industry, but definitely gives you an opportunity to see what is up and coming. 100% agree with this, and it's overwhelming as crap. There is so much there. There is a part of SEMA too where it's really just industrial stuff, like within the industry. I can't remember what hall it's in, but like I walked in there, I was like, oh, this is all just like lifts and just things for like the garage consumer, like different cabinets and all this stuff. I was like, that doesn't really pertain to me, but it's cool to see just all these crazy cars, these crazy builds and stuff. And I mean, as a normal consumer, you could definitely go talk with companies, new and upcoming things. It's very rad. I would highly recommend it. Wear some very good walking shoes because there is a lot to do and a lot to see there as well. They do have a food court and everything. I think you can get beer there, waters, sodas, food, all that stuff. So they have all that there too at SEMA. Fernando says 2025 Tacoma, apart from some different color options, maybe different package options, do you think that there will be anything significant? I don't think so at all. Most likely just colors and a new package, just like you said, and a slight increase in price. Can you get a large American flag for a backdrop? Dude, that would be so sick to do. I have a flag over here in our gym, and then I have a military flag over there on that door. But just where this is set up for those garage doors, I can't really put anything behind me like that. So eventually, man, if we get like a barn in a future property and stuff like that, I'll have Toyota banners, I'll have a Nitto banner, I'll have a big ass flag, all that stuff in there too, Florida flag. I want the property to be big enough to where I could have a legit flagpole out front too, with like a freaking huge flag. That'd be so awesome. Tyler says, what's up from San Antonio, Texas? How's it going, man? Thank you for watching from Texas. Hope it's cooling down for you guys. I know it's hot as crap here still in Florida. I'm curious how it is in Texas. Evening from across the bridge in Niceville. Heck yeah, Omar. Nice cool night tonight. It is cooling off. We were walking the dogs and it feels really good. Nice and windy too. Would you prefer a new Tacoma TRD Pro or a 4Runner? I would pick a 4Runner TRD Pro probably over the new Tacoma TRD Pro for the simple fact of it just has normal seats. It's more of a normal car. But if I am looking to get rowdy out in the desert or go fast with it, I'm going to pick the Tacoma all day over the 4Runner. But if I just want it as a vehicle to hold its value, be a kind of like a double taker, right? Like a little neck breaker action, then I would pick the 4Runner probably. My old Tacoma was built in Mexico, excellent quality. My new Tundra built in America, trash, garbage. Exactly. This is going back, and there are some good built Tundras out there, right? It just depends. It's not consistent at all, which is very, very frustrating. Freaking flies. Is Solar Octane going to be available on the 25 4Runner? I don't think so. Solar Octane seems to be disappearing across the board. So if you wanted Solar Octane, I think 2024 was your last year to get it. It's not on the Tundras, not on the Sequoias. Dude, are you on my hair right now? Knock it off. Not on the Sequoias, so I don't think that it will be on the Tacomas or also the 4Runner, which would be cool. Would have been cool to see it on the 4Runner. I'm curious if Terra will be on the 4Runner, even though it wasn't for, well, it was for 2023, but I'm curious if it will carry over to the 5th gen. That'll be interesting. Arham says, rumors have it that the next gen RAV4 will have looks based off the new 4Runner. I pray they don't. God, that would be so ugly. The RAV4, I would hope, honestly, would take on more of a Tacoma look. I think that would look really good on the RAV4. It already kind of has that that kind of grill to it like the Tacoma does. And I'm glad that the 4Runner doesn't exactly look like the Tacoma, but that double Hulk Hogan mustache, it's not the best. Daniel says, I may be wrong, but I don't think SEMA is open to the general public. It is. They have... Oh, Ryan also. Dang, dude, Ryan's up in here getting all these questions before me. It is open on the last day, typically Friday, to the public. The first 3 days are for buyers only. That is correct. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly which days, Daniel, but there is public days for sure. I can't remember if it's 1 day or 2 days, or like Ryan said. But yeah, but for everyone joining in, we are at 120 people. Drop whatever comments you guys want into the comment section for me to answer. Leave a thumbs up. And we are not going to Texas because of the storm, unfortunately. I was really hoping to drive a Ranger Raptor, drive a new Rams, drive all of these other competitors' vehicles, and also see them and document all that stuff for you guys. But with this storm coming, we're going to be staying a little bit close. We're not expecting damage here, but potential power outages and stuff, and, you know, bunch of tree limbs and everything. You never know. You never know, because this storm, it's pretty massive, man. It's nothing right now. It's generating, but their forecast is a pretty big storm. John says, nothing wrong with adding more content with your 5th gen, just taking it for a ride to put some gas in it and taking the dogs on a trip, just saying. For sure. And I know that you guys would enjoy it, because, I mean, just the other day when I just installed those Morimoto lights, a lot of people watched the content. So I do have a couple more mods for the 4Runner as well. And yeah, just doing a 7-year update video or something with it, right? What are my plans for my 4Runner? I don't know, but having it in the background too just feels good. I like it. Evan says, how's the visibility through the rear view mirror with the GFC? Any thoughts of a camera relocation? That would be cool, but the view out of it is perfect. Like the way that GFC just made their little window, it like contours where the mirror sees it perfectly fine. My only con with visibility out of the GFC is the kind of head checks. So like the side view, it's kind of hard to see because it's not open anymore. It's a closed door on that. But aside from that, I freaking love the GFC, man. I'm gonna be camping in it in the Overland Expo, so hopefully my back holds up pretty good. I may get some memory foam or something for it from Wally World before we do that. But I absolutely love the GFC, and I want to make more content with it. And if I do give away the Tacoma, which I am leaning towards doing that, someone will get to experience the GFC on it, which will be rad. Love watching these lives. Great to see you, John. Greetings from Long Island. Dude, Cruiser 6044. Thank you so much for watching and enjoying the live stream too. Toyota Trail Trash says, hey, John, my wife let me get on the chat. I love these live chats and always your Toyota content. Heck yeah, man. Glad you were able to sneak away and hang out. That's awesome. That's awesome. Still summer, high 90s in San Antonio, Texas. Yeah. So we are hot here during the day, but it is cooling off into the low 70s at night. Sometimes it's still humid. Like right now in the garage, it's actually worse for today's live stream than it was last week. What would you suggest to level a 24 Tundra? If you're just looking for a leveling kit, you're not going to off-road your vehicle at all, I always recommend Westcott Design's pre-collar kit. It's just simple and easy. I do wish, though, that they made a kind of shorter version for the Tundra if you're not looking to lift it up all the way. But if you can afford it, a simple suspension kit always just works so well. It's always the best option you could do. But if a budget is a thing, then I would look for a Westcott kit, if possible, a pre-collar kit for your vehicle, especially if you're not going to off-road it. It's really, really good. And American-made, too. Full Send Off-Road, what's up, man? It says, just join. I see you've gotten so much better at catching up with the comments. Also, do you plan on putting some nice LED aftermarket lights, headlights or taillights on the Tacoma? I am looking at Alpha X, man. Alpha X lights, they look pretty good on the front, at least, for the new Tacoma. And we'll see what Morimoto does, too, because I really do like the Morimotos that I just put onto my 4Runner. The quality of them is very good. The light output is very good. But it's hard now for aftermarket lighting companies, right? Because the OEMs, for performance, they make these lights so good. They make these lights so good, OEM, but they just don't always look the best. So that is still where the aftermarket scene wins, right? Like with the DRLs, the sequential turns, all of that stuff in the vehicles. But lighting performance, I feel, with OEM is still better. It's still a little bit better than what the aftermarket scene produces. Zachary says, wanting to grab a 24 Tundra with 2,000 miles at 69,000, but same specs for 22 with 30,000 miles on them is like 47.5. Seems like a real quick drop of 22,000 thoughts. Yeah, that's because of the recalls, honestly, for those 22s. So 22s and 23s, their values, they're going down quick. 24s, if they eventually get in the recall, or if we see more 24s have these issues, then 24s will drop too in price. But depending on what truck you want, I mean, I would try to go as new as possible, honestly. Like, it just depends on price. But if a dealership is willing to work, especially when 25 start to really come out, with 24 still on the lot, you may be able to get even more off of that $69,000 price. But 70 grand, that means you're really looking at a very high-end one, probably a hybrid. So if it is a hybrid, then that means, you know, that's not part of the recall, at least for the 2022s. But yeah, 2022s, they have definitely dropped in value a lot, for sure. I saw a 22 Capstone the other day for like $49, $50 almost. It's kind of crazy. Arham also says, is something that probably won't happen, but I hope for the refresh Tundra they actually redesign the double cab. Too small. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if the double cab just goes away. You know, like Or they just need to make that door bigger, like you said, because there's like no point. There's no point of that, really. It's cool in like the SR5, and they've already, I think, got rid of the double cab on the Limited. So they may only make that in work truck form or SR5 form, right? So, I mean, most of the trucks are just going to be crew max trucks anyway. So I'm curious if they even just keep it, because eventually the Tundra will be all hybrid, right? Because Toyota wants to be all hybrid, I think, by 2030. So even the SRs will be hybrid too, which means everything's going to be even more expensive. So I am curious how Toyota's going to go about it. I am actually now curious too for the SR, right? Based on the Land Cruiser numbers. Dude, that may be, whoa, hold on, timestamp this. 55 minutes in the live stream. What if for the SR, when Toyota decides to go all hybrid, if they throw a 4-cylinder hybrid into that thing? You heard it here first. September 24th, 2024. We will see. We may go back to this, and we may see. Will Toyota go back to a V6 in the Tacoma after disappointing 4th gen? I'm going to say no, because I'm not disappointed with the 4th gen. The engine's so much better than the V6. The transmission's better. The engine's better. More horsepower, more torque, more low-end torque. It's better. So I don't see the hate, honestly, for the 4-cylinder. I really don't. It was the same thing when that 3.5 came out. People were like, they should have kept the 4.0. I don't see the hate at all. People just need to drive the truck and realize how much better it is, honestly. No, I don't see them going back to a V6 for some reason in the Tacoma. They get less gas mileage, less horsepower, less torque. Actually, it's the same horsepower, unless you go with the hybrid. David says, so Icon sells their suspension per stage. What's a good stage to buy? I mainly go on-road and off-road as much as I can on the weekends. I'm not too familiar with Icon's stages setup, but a good mid-tier one would be great, I feel, for both on-road and off-road. But some people do say, though, that Icon suspension on-road is a little rough, I think, or maybe it's too soft. I can't remember which way to go about it, but some people say that Icon stuff isn't the best on-road. Do you think that we will ever see Cavalry Blue again on the 4Runner? I don't know. Toyota with their TRD Pro colors, unless they just bring it back, right? Because they brought Heritage Blue back. Toyota just seems like for their new TRD Pro colors, they're just new. They're not, from the FJ Cruiser like they were in the past and stuff. So if we see it, it may be a retro throwback. They just bring it back onto the 4Runner or something. But as of right now, if you want Cavalry Blue, 2018 is the only year, yes, for 4Runner that you can get that color, which is just, man, so awesome. Honestly, making Cavalry Blue, Quicksand, and Inferno are the rarest TRD Pro colors on the 4Runner. They're the rarest. Because Cement was made again with the Trail Edition. Army Green was made for several years. Terra may be rare, right? And then Solar Octane was made for several years. Lunar Rock was just wrung out. Voodoo Blue they did for an extra year in Hawaii. Yeah, it may be really, really rare. Not So Good Hiker says, come on, people, let's holy crap. Show some appreciation for John in the Q&A. Hit that like button. I do appreciate the likes on the videos, guys. It helps out everyone. Any content creator that you guys watch, if you guys enjoy their videos, it's super simple just to click the like button. It's free, and it helps out them for the algorithm. Appreciate it. Danny says, what if you put a Westcott preload collar kit on a TRD off-road Tacoma? Can you off-road with that setup? You can, and that's what I have on my truck. But the suspension is not allowed to fully compress out as much as it would like, so it is a little bit harsh really off-roading with it. It kind of bucks itself a little bit more than it should. So that is I love the way the Tacoma looks. I love the extra clearance and stuff that I got out of it to run bigger tires and everything, and it's performed great. But I really do wish that I was able to use my truck stock just a little bit longer. So it was great. It's a good truck. I haven't had really any issues with my Tacoma. There were a couple things that I shared with you guys, and they've gotten fixed, and they're no longer issues. But it would be cool to do a fresh Tacoma build. That's good to hear, Tyler. So quality has improved a little bit. That's awesome. You know, like for the seats, thicker plastic here, hopefully better volume knobs. Some of the new trucks, honestly, that I've driven have had less wind noise, especially the hybrids. I have driven newer trucks too, 2024s that have the same window rattling issue that my truck had due to bad seals. So, I mean, they are getting better, right? They are getting better. And hopefully the refresh, maybe it'll utilize the same cab. So whatever they've worked on is fixed with the new cab, and then just some different interior bits, hopefully better quality materials. Toyota just needs to step up the game, especially with the quality of materials too. Can you get a factory lift on the Tacoma? Toyota was, that may be in the works for 2025 also. Toyota may announce official details on the TRD lift kit for the Tacoma. That would be pretty cool. Victor says, what are your thoughts on stock Bilstein shocks on the TRD off-road? I've heard they're very stiff on the trails. I actually really liked mine out on the trails. They were pretty soft once they started to get heated up. That may be people not properly airing down also while out on the trails. So whenever I off-roaded my Tacoma, I aired my tires down to about 15 PSI, and that helps a lot. So, you know, if people aren't properly airing down their tires when they go out on the trail, then it's gonna make for a very rough ride. So I hope that people are doing everything properly and not just like blaming suspension, because tires are a huge factor when you're going off-road. Is the first edition trim level on the Land Cruiser going to fade out? And if it does, what trim levels will replace it? The first edition is only for 2024. Not sure what will replace it next year. Maybe we get a Trail Hunter. Maybe we get a TRD Pro style version of a Land Cruiser. That would be wild and pretty cool. But not really sure. Maybe we'll get a GR version, you know, because there's a 300 series GR version. But that is mainly just kind of like an Over Trail Plus style of a vehicle. So I'm not sure what will replace it in the future. But the first edition is only here for 2024, from what I've been told. Would you ever get an older truck for the channel, like an 80s 100 Series Land Cruiser or an 80s Taco? I don't think I would get an older Land Cruiser. They are cool, but they just don't appeal to me. The only old Land Cruiser I would get would be an FJ40 style one. I would love to have like a not a hoopty, troopy, like a longer wheelbase one. That would be really cool to have. But I would 100% have a 80s Toyota pickup. And eventually I want to have a generation of every single 4Runner, and a first gen 4Runner, as a beach cruiser would be very cool to have as well. So the oldest vehicle I had on the channel was my first gen Tundra. I seem to have gotten that one a little too early because people just weren't interested in it. And that's totally fine, right? The channel was smaller. It was always a dream truck of mine, and the interest just wasn't there. So I do plan on having one of those again too. It would be nice to have. It would be really nice to have. But yes, I do plan on getting older vehicles, especially once I have a bigger area to keep them all. I hate playing, because we have a gym as our third car, and then the Land Cruiser and 4Runner typically sit in here. And then, like, yeah, I have a bigger driveway, but I don't need it to be like a legit dealership outside. So I would like to have some more space to be able to put cars and stuff. So again, this YouTube's a hobby, right? We got 100 people in here, which is absolutely awesome, and I love it. I love talking with people and stuff all the time. It's great. But if, like, people want to see more content, then on me, I have to make more better content to make more money, to be able to get more vehicles to give people that content, right? And also, you know, there's other things I could do too. I could make merchandise if people do want to buy merchandise. I could you know, really say, hey guys, you could become members of the channel and support me in a way, or donate in chat. But like, when it's just organic like this and it's for fun, like I don't want to make it, you know, overly businessy to that point. But if I did, dude, that would expedite stuff so fast, right? We could have the house with the barn. We could have 10 different vehicles and everything if I made it more of a business. But I don't know if I would enjoy it as much, but maybe I should just say F it and just try. Maybe it will. And we could have a good blend of, actual business, which it kind of already is, and having fun with it. So yeah, if all 100 of you guys want to donate $10, there you go, right? But no, people don't have to. Money's tight right now. I just appreciate you guys watching the live stream and everything, and it really does mean a lot. Wooduck says, I have a great looking white TRD Pro as the picture of your video. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, so that was the one that Toyota gave me about a couple weeks ago. Whenever I make these live streams, I just try to make it something that's not like a thumbnail that I already did in the past, just to, so you guys could differentiate, like, oh, that's not a new video. And if you're not interested in the live streams, you guys don't have to watch the live streams. But that's why I always just say live stream up top, put in a nice little Toyota or whatever there for you guys. Is really rad. Ephraim says, how can someone hate on an engine and transmission that hasn't even been out that long? Loved my 3rd gen, but the 3.5 was trash. Yeah, the 3.5, you really had to rev out. The transmission wasn't the best on those last Tacomas. So, I mean, people are just hating because it's a 4-cylinder, right? 4 smaller than 6. Who cares? If you're caring about numbers, then look at the torque, right? Look at how much bigger that torque number is. Look at the hybrid numbers. Look at the gas mileage. It's whatever. Just drive the truck. Who cares? It drives good. That's just me. Some people are diehard V6 owners. Some people are like, oh, I'll never get rid of my V8. Whatever. If that's how you want to drive, bro, totally fine. Totally fine. I'm gonna enjoy driving a better driving vehicle. That's just where I'm at. And it's not me fanboying. It's not me trying to pump these cars up because I don't get paid by Toyota. If I did, I'd probably have made $100 grand in sales right now. I tell you that much. But I've driven them, and to me, they drive better. I've owned 3rd gen Tacomas, right? So it's not just me saying oh, the new one's better. Listen to me. No, I literally had 2 3rd gen Tacomas, right? This one's better, and I owned this one for a shorter amount of time than I have the 3rd gens. I owned both of my 3rd gens about a year to a year and a half, and I've only owned this one for 6 months. It's a better driving vehicle. The Land Cruiser has the same powertrain in it that the new 6th gen 4Runner is going to have. I prefer driving my Land Cruiser more than my 4Runner powertrain-wise. Quality-wise, I still enjoy the 4Runner more than the Land Cruiser until I get some of those issues with the Land Cruiser fixed, right? But I have the vehicles, and I've had experience with the vehicles, and I say this stuff, and people are like, oh, no, you're wrong. It's bro, I literally have the vehicles. This is my opinion. I don't understand. I don't understand the internet sometimes, guys, and I don't know why I rant when this is just for fun, but bro, what the heck? Danny says, I forgot to add, I have the disconnecting sway bar. Nice. With that, has became an issue with the Westcott preload kit. It should not. It should not affect it at all. It would be no different if you were lifting the kit. Basically, all that sway bar is doing is just disconnecting and allowing that suspension to droop as much as it can. So that's all it does. So even if I feel like if you had aftermarket suspension on it, that suspension with the axles and everything that you would have on your truck, when you disconnect the sway bar, it would just allow it to droop just as far as it can, and then that's it. So that's all the sway bar disconnect does. I am actually gonna stand up, guys, because we went walking with the dogs and sitting is not feeling the best. Arham also says, so many questions from Arham today, which I absolutely love. Thank you for the support. Says, which Toyota do you believe is the worst in the entire lineup, not including the BZ4X, because it's not sold in every single state? So by worst, I'm just going to go with why it's a thing and not why it's a horrible car. So the first one will be the Crown, which I understand the history behind Crown and everything. It's a comfortable driving car, but it's not a good looking car, and it is a very niche audience, I guess, for it. And the Corolla hatch, when you have the Corolla Cross, I understand why the hatch is a thing, because if people don't want like a crossover vehicle, but like, why do you have a hatch? I get because of the GR Corolla, which is super dope. So I would say like a Corolla hatch, the Crown. That's really all the ones that make me kind of scratch my head. They're getting rid of the Venza. They're bringing the Crown Signia, which is another hatch, when they have like the Highlander, the RAV4, and then the Grand Highlander. So I mean, Toyota does make me scratch my head a lot. So I would probably go with like the normal Crown, which is kind of just like very weird, and then a Corolla hatch. I think that I would go with for that. Living San Jose says, "Hey John, my 23 TRD Sport Tundra. Any comments on purchasing wheels and suspension as takeoffs from a TRD Pro and putting them on a TRD Sport?" You're becoming a TRD Bro, which is fine. Everyone loves the look and stuff. I would check on Facebook Marketplace for all that in your area. People may ask a premium, especially if you're in California. But I would check Facebook Marketplace for all that stuff. I'm sure that there would be a bunch of takeoffs potentially on there. I see that in my area. I'm still looking on Facebook Marketplace for TRD Pro wheels for the Land Cruiser. These wheels on the Land Cruiser, I just want to see how polished was. They're kind of temporary on it, but I do intend to put the TRD Pro wheels eventually on the Land Cruiser, because a lot of people in the comments of that video said that they would like black wheels, and I'm like, black wheels to me, like on the 4Runner, black wheels are fine, right? Because we got blacked out look, blacked out tint, blacked out badging. It's just blue and black, that's it. But on the Land Cruiser, with that grayscape roof and everything on it, I just feel like the polish looks so good, you know? But the Land Cruiser does have a lot of plastic on it, a lot of black plastic, so maybe the black wheels will look good on it. Like the Tundra, I'm keeping the TRD Pro wheels on the Tundra because, again, Voodoo Blue, all black accents, black tint, black wheels will look good. I'm not going to just change up the wheels on that to just change them up. So is there a Facebook Marketplace living in San Jose? I would do that. We are about 10 minutes behind on questions, but I will catch up to you guys. Matthew Hacker says, is there any functionality of a TRD Pro roof rack? I bought an OEM for 2024 at a good discount because they really look cool. There is some functionality, but like not as much as a full length roof rack, but you can definitely do something with that for sure. Dougie says, have you ever owned any other makes other than Toyota? Growing up, we had Chevys, we had Fords, and we had Toyotas. And I personally have owned a Chevy Silverado myself. And when the pandemic was going on, right, and in hindsight, I hate myself for not doing this because, you know, hindsight's always 20/20. But when dealers, because the world was starting to shut down, they in my area, you could get a GMC Sierra AT4, $10,000 off MSRP, 84 months, 0% financing, and they were giving them away like hotcakes. And I always wanted to get back into a GMC or a Chevy product. And I was like, I don't know how the channel will take that. And in hindsight, I should have, because I would have got $10,000 off the vehicle, 0% financing, could have drove it for free for like a year, made content on the channel if you guys even wanted to see it. If not, then I would have had a truck for a very good price. And then when the used car market just went stupid, I could have freaking probably made 15 grand on that vehicle. Instead I got a Tundra and I only made about 4 grand on the sale of the first gen Tundra that I bought. Cripple Creek says, yes, make merchandise. I need a patch for my headliner. Yeah, I made a patch in the past. Maybe we will make a new one with the updated 4Runner. But if we do a giveaway on the Tacoma, which I am heavily leaning towards, it will be a dope patch. It'll be a dope patch, which I have all 4 of them, and I don't want to ruin a surprise. Hold on. Yeah, that's definitely not Virginia. Hold on. So these were the patches that Toyota was giving out at all the Overland Expos this year. So each location had its own thing, and I have all 4 of them already, even though I haven't been to East yet. But so I didn't want to share that and ruin the surprise for those that are going to the Expo. But if you guys are going to Overland Expo and you go to Toyota's booth, you could pick up patches, right? There's the Tacoma, 4Runner, Land Cruiser, and Tundra, all with different backgrounds in the area. So I would do a very cool patch like this, super high quality patch for the Tacoma giveaway. And that would be how you guys would enter for it. It would be obviously not, spend $5 on the site, get 1 entry kind of a thing. It would be an entry based on the patch, and it would be at a premium, right? Like $100 for a patch, which, oh my God, that's a lot of money. I get it. But a patch like this, if you're to just buy it from a reseller, probably $20, 10, 15, $20 for this patch. So now you're talking an extra $80, and you have a limited chance, like 1 in 1,000 chance to win a $50,000 vehicle. So that's probably how I'm going to structure it. And also with that too, there would be winners up until maybe position 10 or 20. So like the odds really start to get in your favor to at least win something. And that's just how I want to do it. And again, I'd be super open about everything, talking to you guys about it. This is how I'm going to do it. Give donations to charity and everything too. And depending on how that goes, and I am trying to build a website as well. Maybe just have some merch just always kind of there for you guys, whether it be some sort of jet tags for your keychains or patches or maybe hats or something. I don't know. I don't know what type of brand I want to build and everything like that. But if people like it, then we'll do it. Scott says, please forgive my tardiness to the live, but do you have something coming out with towing with the Land Cruiser? I do. So I teased that a little bit on Facebook and also on Instagram. And that video was going to go live before I lifted the Land Cruiser, but there is a sponsorship in that video from Jackery, and Jackery is going to have a massive sale going on in October. So they asked me if I was able to hold off on that video until October, and Jackery is having a sale of upwards like almost 50% off on some products. So a lot of people told me, John, you got to try out Jackery's stuff after I tried out Anchor's stuff. So they reached out for a sponsorship, and I was like, dang, this actually works pretty good. And guess what? We have a freaking hurricane coming, and I may lose my power. So that's even better, right? I get to utilize the stuff even more thanks to you guys, and also thanks to them. So that video will go live on October 1st. And it's me towing with the Land Cruiser, doing a route from my house up to Yoda Mafia, completely stock, getting the trailer, talking about my kind of thoughts on how the vehicle tows, and then doing an MPG trip again from my house up to Yoda Mafia to see the difference. And from my house to their building is about 45 miles. So, and it's highway, some mix of city too. It's, I think, going to be a pretty good video if people can just like look past sponsorships, right? And I tried my hardest to like integrate the sponsorships as organically as possible. And I get that I did a 3-minute one a couple weeks ago and people didn't seem to like that. So this one is 3 minutes, but it's like broken up throughout the video. So hopefully, you know, people are interested in it. Bro, save 50% on Jackery products for some stuff and watch me make a smoothie and drink it, you know? So it should be pretty good. Charles, I will be safe. I appreciate it. So far, we are on the west side of the storm, but we will get a lot of rain. We will get a lot of wind. Praying for, you know, everyone in its path. Luckily, right now, where the storm is, its trajectory is not very a populated area of Florida. I feel like because of storms and swamplands and state forests and all that stuff. But yeah, it's going to be a massive storm. It's going to be definitely a massive storm. Still waiting for you to install a new exhaust system on the Tacoma. Teaser coming. Still waiting for you. So I'm not sure which one you're talking about, David, but I have installed the MagnaFlow about a month ago on the Tacoma. Unless you want to see another exhaust system on the Tacoma, let me know about that in the comments, man. But we do have the MagnaFlow on it. Brian says, I went from a Nissan V8 to a Tundra V6. It's a huge difference in towing. My Ranger, much better. Also, the torque on the V6 is noticeably stronger. Yeah, and this goes back to the conversation of, like, Toyota messed up the new Tacoma with the 4-cylinder. It's just like, you know, you got to drive it. You just got to drive it, experience. More gears are better. The turbos, the lower end torque. It's just better. Better of a driving experience. Longevity, yo, time will tell. I'm not denying that at all. I'm not saying, oh, it's going to be way better. It's better in the now. It's better in the now. Longevity over time will tell. But has there ever been a Toyota product that over time, throughout its generation of being able to fix itself, recalls, TSBs, all that stuff, has Toyota ever made like a product that just really sucks, you know? That's all I'm saying, man. Arham again says, haha, I simply enjoy the live streams. Probably the only live stream out of many where I watch from beginning to end. Thank you so much. Yeah, and I understand that it may get a little boring sometimes and stuff, which is totally fine. But, you know, we're just answering questions and everything. David says, AWE exhaust system review from you would be great. They did reach out, and I would not mind doing that. So maybe not on this Tacoma, because if we are going to give it away, I would hate to reach out to a company to just do something and then, like, get rid of the truck, right? I want to enjoy it for a little bit and really give you guys my thoughts. So maybe on the next Tacoma we could do an AWE exhaust, because I've heard a lot of good stuff about them for sure. Do you think that Toyota will ever make a removable top? I don't think so. I think that they realize that there's just too much going on with that. I mean, their vehicles already have enough wind noise, right? to have a removable top, so might as well, you know? But man, yeah. Nathan says, what's discount code for Beat Sonic Tundra 2023? I currently do not have one for the Tundra right now, but they are revamping their site to where I'll get an affiliate code and also a discount code, and I will update all that stuff, and I'll also put it in my link tree for you. But you can try this. They gave me a discount code for the new Tundra, well, not new, for my 2019 for some of the stuff that I'm about to put on that. And let me see if this code works. So I'm not sure if this will work right now, but TRD John 5 is the code that I'm going to be using for the new, to me, Tundra stuff that I will be installing. So capital TRDJON number 5 may give you some discount. So I'm not sure if that will work right now or what have you. TRD Pro wheels will look great on the Land Cruiser. I also think that the Tacoma XP wheels would look good too. Yeah, especially if they clear a 17. I may do that. Honestly, too, we're getting new wheels, which I already have them from Locked Off-Road. You guys could see them right there. I'm waiting on tires to come in. But we may also just put the wheels from the 4Runner, these old school TRD wheels, onto the Land Cruiser too and see if they clear. Any off-roading like Ocotillo Wells in Florida? Not really. We do have one area, it's called Hard Rock. And there's another off-road park too, I think south of Sarasota. And what I'm really excited about to move to Tampa for is there's this new off-road track car facility called the Motor Enclave. And I think that they're building up kind of like a track off-road portion of it, which will be pretty rad. So there is stuff coming. It's a lot of man-made stuff in our area, but Citrus has some good off-roading stuff, and again, Hard Rock area of Florida, it's kind of like Ocala area, I think. Hard Rock is pretty good, but I think it's like an old quarry kind of a thing, but there's no wide open desert or anything like that out here, man. Almost done with that water. Elder says, and again, appreciate everyone coming on. If you guys have to hop off, I know it's been an hour and a half. Totally get that. It's all good. And we may wrap up the live stream soon. Elder says, how does the first generation Toyota truck ride and drive compared to modern ones? So, I'm even going to consider like this 4Runner and that Tundra out there because they're pretty raw. And I think that's probably the best way to say it. You feel a lot of feedback in the steering wheel. It's a heavier vehicle. It's not as floaty and car-like, not as dainty to drive. I think that's the biggest differences between these new vehicles and the older trucks that they replace. Is the other ones just felt more. You could just feel everything. You could feel everything on the road. You could feel all the bumps and stuff. You could feel the engine. Get out of here, fly. You could feel the engine as you accelerate and stuff. Feel the vibrations through the pedal. I feel like that is where a lot of the older Toyota vehicles really are. Whereas the new ones, right? They're more car-like. They're still a truck. They can still do truck stuff, but they're definitely more car-like. Dougie Doo says, I think that you should branch out to other brands a little bit if the opportunity presents itself again. I have lost a lot of interest in newer Toyotas. I think the comparisons would be very valuable. 100% agree with that. Next year, I am slotted to go to a couple of car shows, which will be nice, like auto shows. So I will definitely do my best to showcase other brands, which I did at the LA Auto Show, and you guys seem to really enjoy that, where I actually got to sit in Fords again. I got to sit in some Chevys. And to be completely honest, if I do move down to the Tampa area, I may start a second channel of just reviewing other vehicles, news for other vehicles, but most likely just kind of keep it in the ecosystem of trucks. I don't want to branch out to other brands and do like all their cars and crossovers and all this stuff, because I do feel like people are still interested in Toyota's crossovers and everything. It's just these trucks were so old for so long, and then Toyota revamped them, gave them a new price tag, which is like in line with all the other brands anyways. But from what people remembered, like they bought their 2017 or 2018 Tacoma, right? And now they're looking at a new Tacoma because it's time for them to upgrade, and they just see the sticker price of a new truck and not all the inflation that it took to get up to that point, which is bullcrap. I get that, but like it's the world that we're in right now. So just remember that in November, right? But like for my 4Runner, I bought this in 2017. TRD Pro, $43,000. And I just talked about this in the video that I just put up. This same TRD Pro, 2024. What? Fox shocks, JBL sound system, a new infotainment on the inside, and a moonroof, right? 4 things. $56,000. So you're saying in 7 years, the same car that has not changed at all, for the 4Runner really, went up $13,000 almost in MSRP. Right? So now the same thing for a brand new Tacoma, people see that, but they just see the price and they're like, wow, this is so much more. I hate Toyota. They raised these prices. Again, it's everything falling into effect. Yes, companies are still making a lot of money, right? I get that, but that's their business. They got to make money. Inflation is a legit thing. It is a legit thing right now too, which does suck. And you know, when materials cost more, energy costs more, all this stuff costs more to produce, businesses aren't in business to lose money. So everything has to go up in price, which sucks for us as the consumers. And eventually, right, supply and demand, look at it. You know, people said that the Tundra and Tacoma were too much money. They're sitting on the lots, $5,000 to $10,000 off MSRP. So we still do dictate the price. And again, these trucks do have to prove themselves as well. Tundra, not off to a hot start. Tacoma, doing pretty good, honestly, in my opinion, for a brand new vehicle. West Coast says, John, really enjoyed the content. Finally got my rear 4Runner badge rust issue fixed. Oh, nice. Got resolved. Took 3 times, but perfect now. Gapped correctly all around. Good. I'm super glad to hear that. Thank you for following up with that, West Coast. That's good to hear that that rust stuff is done. Charles Cox says, might get to use that Land Cruiser off-road during some storm evasion. Yeah, good thing I lifted it, right, to freaking get past some of this flood water. That would be absolutely crazy. I count as 2. Wife and I watch together. Dude, awesome. Appreciate that so much, Charles. That's really cool. And hello. How's it going? Nathan says, has your canvasback cargo liner How has that performed? Very well, and I actually have it for the Land Cruiser too. They just sent that out to me so I can install it for you guys. Shadowverse says, what's up, John? Brand new member to the channel last week. Thank you so much, Shadowverse, for being a TRD Pro member. Says, what's up, John? Hope you're doing well. Great to see you. Thank you so much for joining into the live stream. Says, where's that beautiful Land Cruiser of yours? Left outside in the cold? Yeah, that cold 73-degree night that the Land Cruiser is just enjoying. No, I have too much stuff in the garage right now, and I just really need to organize all these boxes and everything. And then before the storm gets here tomorrow, Thursday morning, the Land Cruiser will be in the garage, and I'm also probably going to pull... I don't know if I want to pull the Tacoma into the garage or the Tundra, but I will put 3 cars into the garage as much as I can. Actually, probably put one of the vehicles into our Airbnb garage. Actually, that's probably what we need to do tomorrow, is put one of the cars into the Airbnb garage, and then the other one into this garage, which will probably be the 4Runner into the Airbnb garage, because I have to install some stuff onto the Tacoma before the Overland Expo. Just want to let you know, awesome videos. I went from a Ford to a Toyota, and I'm very happy. Stay awesome. Thank you, David. Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, it all depends, you know, and the previous comment too, saying, you know, try out other brands and stuff. So I kind of went off on a tangent and lost my mind there. But like when I do move down to Tampa, it would be nice to start a second channel showcase. Oh, I already said that. Yeah, showcasing the other vehicles, most likely just the trucks and stuff too, driving them. That's why I am upset that I was not able to go to the Texas truck rodeo and stuff to drive those other vehicles, because that was literally the plan, was to go to the state fair, showcase the new Toyota products and stuff to you guys. I think the Rally Edition Tundra was going to be there, new Sequoia colors, the TRD Pros and everything, which would have been cool. And then also drive other brands' trucks. But because of the storm and everything, we're just going to kind of hunker down and stay in this area, and then assess some potential damage that it may bring to us. Oliver says, I removed the air dam on my 24 Tacoma, but I get a whistle noise now. How did you fix yours? Mine never came with an air dam. That's very strange. You shouldn't be able to hear anything. So I have no idea what the heck that is. Maybe install the air dam, see if the whistle noise is still there, because it could be something just random, pine straw, like I get sometimes here, that makes a clicking sound or a whistling noise. I would put the air dam back onto the vehicle, drive it, see if it's still there, because if it's still there, then you have a different issue. I've never heard that on my truck, even with my truck completely lifted without the air dam. My Tacoma, aside from the roof rack noise, is so quiet. I love my Tacoma. It's so good. What's the wheel offset on your 5th gen TRD Pro? +5. Those will probably stick out quite a bit. It would make great content since it's the same bolt pattern. I would need different lugs though for it, but I think the offset on the 5th gen 4Runner, I think it's +50 something, I think, or +30. Maybe it's 0 offset. I don't know exactly what it is on the 4Runner. Maybe it would poke out more. These tires are thinner than the 295s that I have on the other one, so I don't know. We'll have to see. But I would need different lugs for it though, because the Land Cruiser is T14. I think the 4Runner is T12. Prices for the new Trail Hunter and Pros are insane. In Louisiana, they're marking up $10,000 to $80,000. Let them sit. That's absolutely stupid. There's no reason to be marking them up. People don't want them. Well, people want them, but people are done paying a markup. $80,000, dumb. That's absolutely stupid. Not even worth it. I do agree. The Pros and the Trail Hunters, they are very insanely priced. Yeah, but for a dealership to mark it up another $10,000, especially when, you know, rates are still somewhat high on the automotive side. They are coming down and stuff because of what the Fed just passed. But still, that's just dumb. Let them freaking sit. Blow those dealerships up. Let them other people know not to freaking shop from them. The dealerships that charge over MSRP, I understand, but like they're pieces of crap. They are pieces of crap. Even now, there are still some dealerships, even with the new Land Cruiser that's coming out, that are over MSRP. Like, I get supply and demand. I 100% understand that. But at $10,000, bro, you're gouging. That's just stupid. 509 Drone says, about to order a set of Alpha X Pro headlights, but read a lot of comments about the DRLs that stopped working or condensation of water in them. What has been your experience? I had Alpha X on my Tundra, my last gen one that sat outside its whole life, never got any condensation in about the 8 to 9 months that I had those on that truck. The 4Runner, I had Alpha X taillights and headlights on it for about a year to year and a half. Granted, my 4Runner sits in the garage, but no issues with the DRLs and no issues with condensation. And I do live in Florida, where it is very humid, so I feel like I would have experienced condensation. Now, that's just me. I know they sell thousands of these units, but I'm just one person, so I'm not doubting that there's issues with them, with certain customers. And again, keep in mind that when people complain about something, it's because they had an issue with it, right? But I have not had an issue with the Alpha X products that I have used. No worries, man. But yeah, that's just me. I'm not saying that you'll buy it and it'll be perfect. I'm just saying with the two vehicles I've had with 3 versions of their lights, right? Well, actually, no, hold on. I've had older Alpha X stuff on this 4Runner too before I swapped them out for a couple other headlights, and then ultimately had Alpha X Lux series, and then now these Morimoto. So I've had multiple Alpha X headlights on the 4Runner, and I've never had an issue with any of them. One of them too was their, I think it was called their Pro Series ones, where you put the actual bulb in yourself, and even those were pretty tight, and I don't recall having any condensation in them. Legend has it that your original solar octane Tacoma never came to the dealership. Fun fact, it actually did, and it sold. So I got the Land Cruiser, and that Tacoma, the dealership told me, if I'm remembering correctly, had sold a couple weeks prior to when I got my Land Cruiser, which means I had my Tacoma that I bought just on my own, right? 4 months almost before that Tacoma actually made its way to the dealership. And the person who bought that Tacoma actually heard about it from one of my videos, which is good. So the Tacoma still got sold. I assume he's enjoying it. But yeah, it did make its way there, but only a few weeks, maybe a month prior to when I bought that Land Cruiser at that same dealership, which is crazy. Taylor says 4Runners used to be 30 grand. People freaked out then. It went to 50, same deal now. And my thing too, right, about this, and it may be unpopular, but people complaining about the new prices, but like still buying the 4Runner now. So like, here's the thing. When we get 4Runner pricing for the 6th gen and people complain about how much the price went up, but like they're not complaining about how much the price is right now for a 15-year-old vehicle that Toyota is literally milking that cow, that to me would piss me off more than the price of a completely new vehicle, completely new R&D, new powertrain, new everything, new tech, and they raise the price up a couple grand. TRD Pros, that's going to be stupid. But they raise up the base price a couple grand and packaging pricing, right? Versus something that's been out for 15 years and going up so much in price. Like, that's where my head is for that, you know? Like, that's why I really hope that the new 4Runner really doesn't go up that much for SR5 and TRD off-road models. I know that the TRD Pro 4Runner will be expensive because it always is. I'm hoping that it's the same price as the TRD Pro Tacoma. If not, potentially less, because it doesn't have like the hydro bump stops. It doesn't have the isodynamic seats. I hope that the 4Runner TRD Pro is honestly less, but who knows? Toyota will probably get it close to 70 grand for some reason. It just doesn't make sense to me. We'll see. Brand 700 says, John, what are your thoughts on a 24 Tundra 1794 TRD off-road? If you branch out, please include Porsche. You all better like the freaking videos and watch them if I'm about to get a Porsche one day. I like the 1794 TRD off-road. That is definitely the one to get if you're going to be getting a 1794. It just makes sense. You know, you get the full four-wheel drive system, the rear locker, the resale value too, the crawl control, all that stuff. That's definitely the one to get if you were going to get a 1794. More ground clearance and stuff too with it. Not a whole lot, but still pretty good. Nathan says, loving the videos. Any opinion on PPF and or ceramic tint for a car parked outside, especially on my street parked truck that won't fit in my garage? I would definitely get it tinted for the inside, right, for those UV rays. And I don't think that you need to splurge crazy on PPF, but I would definitely get a nice sealant on it, whether it be a sealant that you reapply once a month, or whether you ball out a little bit, spend $1,000, $1,500, whatever, and get a ceramic coat on it. There's a lot of DIY stuff that you could do to protect the paint. But man, a good old waxing goes a long way still on cars, just to give some sort of sealant on the vehicle, especially one that's really left outside. That Ford Ranger Raptor marked up 12 grand for me was crazy. Toyota offered me all freebies and very friendly. Got me buying my Tacoma off-road on the spot. Ford sales guy even asked me if I could afford it. What a dick, bro. Yeah, I could afford it. My favorite thing, and this is what a lot of well-off people do. Dude, you look at any well-off people, and they, for the most part, are just like this. I'm not saying I'm super well-off, but this is a $5 shirt from Target. I don't care, right? Like, you don't need your money for your appearance and stuff. Like, it's nice, right? It makes you feel good sometimes. But people would rather spend their money in another way. And yeah, I can afford a Ranger Raptor. That's why I'm here. But you know what? I'm taking my business somewhere else because you don't obviously know how the world works, bro. That's absolutely crazy. But glad you're either enjoying that Tacoma and stuff. Ranger Raptor is dope. It is very, very cool for sure. But 12 grand more over MSRP, to me, not worth it. And a-hole salesman, not worth it. All right, last question, guys. I truly appreciate everyone coming on to the live stream. You guys are absolutely awesome. Brand says also, are you replacing the steering wheel on? Oh, it's a statement. Sorry. You replacing the steering wheel on your blue Tundra has encouraged me to do the same on my Tacoma TRD Pro. Heck yeah! Make sure you go to Yodaverse. Make sure you use my code also at Yodaverse to save some money on it. That is pinned on the top comment here for my link tree. It has all the discounts, guys, to all the products and everything that I use and everything like that. And Yodaverse, I have a pretty good discount code over there. And dude, the steering wheel in the Tundra, it's been great. I still need to readjust it just a little bit, but the leather feel, it just feels so good. And it's kind of also a flat bottom at the bottom too, which I just noticed like the other day. It's really good. It's really, really nice, and I really enjoy it. But guys, thank you so much for coming out for the live stream. We will have Tundra videos this week. I got some stuff over here from Real Truck that I wanted to install today because we were supposed to be going to Texas, but because of the storm, I am not. But a lot of stuff getting installed on the Tundra, and hopefully the last bits of the lift kit for it will come within the next week or so. I'm just waiting on some upper control arms. But guys, appreciate you all so much. For everyone in Florida, stay safe. Watch the news, not too much, but don't freak out about it. Well, freak out about it, but stay calm and just stay safe. And everyone, have a great rest of your week, and I will catch you all in the next one. Thank you.